And we're live. Hi,
Yay,
Joe.
we did it. Oh my goodness. I'm on Facebook again.
Hello.
How are
Hi,
you
Brendon. Hi,
doing?
Kamal.
Hello.
Hello, you two.
How
Wonderful
are
creatures. I'm good, I think.
I'm good as well. Yes.
you? Well, hello, Access Europe. Thanks so much for watching us. If you're watching us now or in the future, how did we get so lucky?
How did we?
Yeah. So we are having this conversation, this beautiful live with Mr. Brendon Watt. Hello, Mr. Brendon Watt. And
Hello.
Kamal from India.
Yeah.
Are you in India, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, we named this live, this conversation, also the adventure of having a body. And we wonder, what do you know, Brendon, about that? And yeah, if
Wouldn't
you look,
wouldn't that be interesting though if we actually acknowledged that and treated it that way? An adventure of having a body. Like and truly went on an adventure with it. But I know for a lot of us, for myself included, over the years, it was kind of like doing the doing the norm with my body, like following what should be done and how you should eat and how you should sleep and how you all of that stuff, how much exercise you should do, what exercise you should do. And none of it really was about question. And I think that's the big part of going on an adventure with your body, is being in question with it. The thing that has been so helpful for me, not only with my body but with everything, call it helpful slash like stunned with it also, like to look at and get awarenesses of different areas. But this stuff with structures that we've been talking about, and recognizing, like, if you structure basically is all the points of view that you have, creating a structure that doesn't allow you to receive or create anything different. So you could look at any area of your life really that doesn't change, doesn't show up miraculously. What structures do I have in place creating this? And so that with bodies has been huge in looking at it, because first of all, starting with that, we've talked about forever, is your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view creates everything that shows up with your body also. And so that you can hit that on a surface level and be like, okay, like my point of view, and kind of get that to a degree. But if you look at it, like if you really get present with that and go, how many points of view do I have with this, creating this structure? I look at that and I'm like, holy shit. And here's the thing that's interesting with it is the bulk of them, most of those points of view are energetic. So it's not like you're walking around going, okay, here's my point of view, and you have a cognitive awareness of what it is. Most of it's energetic, and most of it's what you've picked up along the many years of being connected to other people's structures. So in looking at that, basically, if you looked at well, we're talking about bodies. So if you looked at with your body, how many structures do you have creating your body? How many structures are you using to create your body? But here's my favorite part, the next question. Whose structures are they? And when I ask that, I'm like, holy shit, like the things that we have bought. Like if you look at, I remember I grew up with a really abusive father and a lot of other abusive people in my life. And one of my ways of dealing with that was, I don't want to be like this person, and trying to create separation from it. One of the things with that is, as soon as you align and agree or do the resistance and reaction to the point of view, you start creating it. Same with structures. So I was creating basically what I didn't want to be based on my resistance to it and the separation from it. And so one of the people was my father, and I was like, I don't want to be anything like him. Like, I don't want to turn out like that, and I don't want to be like that. And I remember when I was like 18, looking in the mirror and thinking, wow, I feel like I've turned out just like him. So can I just do something real quick? Because everything that just brought up for all of you and all the structures, creating all of that, whose structures are they? Everything that is times a godzillion. Can we destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and millions. Because that's kind of a lot to, you're like, holy shit. I don't know how it shows up for different people. And that's been an exploration, but I know how it's been showing up for me, where I've just been kind of fascinated with what's not actually mine.
Isn't that interesting then? Thank you for this conversation. Like, for me, I was looking at my word, and then you start to kind of have this hate towards that people that you don't want to be like, but then you are, and then you go into the structure implants and you buy everything around that. I don't know if
yeah, totally. But here's the interesting thing too is I was having a conversation actually with Dane when I was on this recent trip to Elagar, and I saw some different things because two of the men that I had in my life that I grew up with did some abusive things. And for me, like I said, I didn't have an easy time dealing with it. And the only tool, quote unquote, that I had was separation. Was let me create the separation as if that's going to change anything. And I remember by the time I was like mid-teens, like maybe 15 or 16, hating both of these men. And for me, I don't do very well with hating. And so I was like, I remember being locked up in my body in so much pain and in so much hate. And what I realized was I didn't hate them. I'd learned that. I'd created that based on so many other people's points of views about how you should deal with something like that. Like you shouldn't have allowance for abuse, right? Was kind of, so everything that brings up also, and all the structures creating that, can we destroy and uncreate it?
Yep.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And what I've realized for myself, which kind of tied into this, was there were so many areas of my life, and these were usually the things that I would keep secret from myself included, but there were so many areas of my life where I just didn't like who I am. And what I realized was, it's not I don't like who I am. I don't like me pretending to be these structures. It's not I don't like me. I don't like the structure I'm pretending to be. So everything that is for everyone, because it's, you know how we say the thing also of what if your greatest wrongness is your greatest strongness, and people kind of just go like, what? Like, what? Come on, who are you talking to? But it's like, but if you see, because you'll go to the judgment of this is my greatest wrongness and I'm wrong here and I don't like myself here. But if you look at it and go, okay, is it you don't like yourself there, or is it that you don't like the structure you're pretending to be there? And if you look at it like that and go, okay, whose structure, pock and pod, take away the structure, what's the power underneath it? And this has helped make so much more, give me so much more clarity with that. Because for me, there were so many things where I was like, I don't like myself in this area, or I don't like where I choose this. I don't like how I am with this. But it's not that. It's I don't like that I'm pretending to be this when I'm not.
Well, and also with bodies, like the thing of I don't like my body.
Yeah. Well, if we get present with that, even like, because how many people have that as I don't like my body because it's not perfect, you know, and or I don't like my body because of this one thing, the way it looks, or this isn't big enough, or this is too big, or this is too old, or this is. But if you got present with it, it's how many structures do I have creating that? First of all, how many structures do I have creating my body like that? But then secondly, how many structures do I have creating the point of view I have of it? Because what comes first, the issue, or call it the the unease with your body, or the point of view that you have about the unease?
That will be the second.
Yeah. So sorry, I talk too much.
Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, and as you're talking, it's amazing because my body is really like relaxing into the conversation. And it's. Can you also speak a little about like is it natural for our bodies to have structures, or is it like something around that, like
No, well, basically, it's more natural for our bodies to be chaos, to be a system of anything's changeable based on the way that you're willing to, the point of view that you have, because it's the point of view that we have creates the solidification of anything. So if we look at disease, for example, our point of view creates disease in our body as a structure. Here's what it is. Here's what it's been diagnosed as. Here's the symptoms. Here's the treatment. There's the structure. System is, what point of view do I have creating this? What questions can I ask? What can I be or do different that would allow it to change? But when you're willing to function from that, such a different possibility. And that's one of the things I love about these three different, I was about to say 3 different body classes, 3-day body classes. There you go. Is there about receiving that, and all of those body processes are based on chaos. You know, they're just awesome.
So you've just done a 3-day body class in Canada with this maybe like the thing about structure that we have been talking about in Access like has recently came up, and like how was it facilitating being in a body class with this information also of structures?
It was awesome, and it cooked me personally. I think I really got the acknowledgement in that class of my body is doing a lot of the work with this. And, you know, and I'd known that for years, and I'd had conversations with different people about it, how in facilitating those classes, my body's facilitating it also. But I really got a sense of that in this class. And one of the things that I've recognized also, and a lot of people with getting more present with these structures, pocking and potting these structures, asking whose structure is this, and clearing that stuff and getting some more clarity on what's true for you, you become a whole lot more aware of all the structures. So it's like, for me, over the last few weeks, like I did Russia, and then I was in Elgar, and then I was in Montreal. I've been kind of exhausted, like with all of it, but also recognizing that how much of even the tiredness that a lot of us kind of go in waves with, you know, how much of that is your awareness, or even your you trying to what's the word? Trying to having an awareness of where other people function from with structure, and aligning and agreeing with those structures, rather than going with what's my reality with this? What capacities do I have with this? What's true for me with this? So it was awesome. And I was just like, by day 2, I was like,
So I have another question. How's that? Like, how is a point of view different from a structure? Is that because a structure is a sum of points of view? Like,
basically the points of view you have create the structure. And if you kind of look at it like as like a cobweb, where you've got everything is held together in that structure of that cobweb. So every point of view that you have goes into it. And so if we look at something like with your body, for example, if you've got, how many points of view do you have about eating, about your weight, about weight gain, about weight loss, about sleeping, about how you look to others, which is another big one, about how you show up in the world, about how you're seen, about aging. So you've got multiple different points of view about each and every one of those, creating the structure of that. But also, like I said earlier, because you could look at that and you go, okay, how many points of view do I have about eating? You might come up with, I don't know, 3 or 4 cognitive points of view where you're like, yeah, I need to eat vegetables and I need to eat this much. I need to, I am what I eat. But it's don't even get me started on that. But it's so many of them are not cognitive, energetic. Like, how many of the points of view and the structures that you have with your body did you pick up and buy as yours before the age of 2? Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And that's the thing. One of the things I love about Access is it's not about what's cognitive. It's about the energy.
And in that, how much are the body processes a contribution?
So good. They're so good. And I don't really even know how to describe them with words, because still it's interesting for me watching people come in as one. Once again, it's more the energy that I kind of see all the miracles with, but it's interesting to see as somebody come in kind of, like rigid and fixed in so many different things, to by day 2 start laughing and having some sense of peace in their world, and by day 3 they're like receiving. And I've noticed that way quicker lately in the body classes. Like, usually by day 3 people would be receiving so much more, and then but now it's halfway through day 1 and people are tapping in and just kind of letting go and being like, you know what, I'm asking for something different. And that's really about people. People are asking for, you know what, I know something else is possible. What is it? What can I receive that I've never been willing to receive before? So, I mean, I've had many interesting times with my body. Most people have heard me talk about my story with addiction, and then more recently in my story of recovery. But it was 2 years ago. Well, no, it was longer than that ago that I started realizing this. It was 3.5 years ago that my body was dying, and I knew it. Like, I would ask my body, how much longer do I have if I keep going like this? How much longer do I have until this is basically what I'm choosing and creating with my body is irreversible? And my body would clearly give me the energy of 3 years, and I still wouldn't listen to it. And so in the last 2 years with my sobriety and in being on this different journey, it's been really cool to create a sense of closeness, I guess. Like, I want to call it a sense of friendship with my body, and be like, just, it's there with me. And like the topic of this, what would it be like if you could go on an adventure with it?
And how many things we think are not possible with our bodies. Even if you think of what you've just said, like, wouldn't that be easier to go, okay, it's 3 years, I know that, and okay, it's done, instead of like, using the tools, I suppose, also, and how much also body processes have been changing that for you.
Oh, totally. But it was definitely to do with, I had so many structures in place. Like, if you look at addiction, talk about structure, addiction enables it, you know, and you keep structures in place with addiction. It was, so for me, it's been just a different journey, but, you know, each and every one of us, like, we've not been taught to really have that sense of closeness with it. Like a lot of the different things out there is kind of like your body just tags along for the ride. What if it didn't? What if it was actually a huge gift in you receiving and creating the life that is phenomenal for you? You know, and that's one of the things I also with, you know, we've got the bars that teaches you about receiving. So do these, like, to teach you about, but not only receiving, being a contribution and having it be something that expands your whole world. So how many structures do we have in place that don't allow that? Everything that is times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So I know this is kind of a big topic also, this thing with structures. So my kind of suggestion and what I've been doing for myself and what I would suggest with people is just kind of have that be there as a sense of how many structures do I have with this? And then also the question of whose structures.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you. Wow. Which is great. Oh my God. And Joya, would you like to tell us a little about the city of Rome where the class is happening?
Oh my goodness.
I think that's a great invitation.
Well, what can I say? All the roads lead to Rome, so everyone has no excuse but to join the 3-day body class with Brendon from the 31st of May till the 2nd of June in Rome, in Italy. So I'm very happy that you're coming here in Italy, Brendon, and having this beautiful energy. Yeah, I mean, Rome it's a stunning city, but also I wonder, my sense with this is how much our bodies are a contribution also to the earth.
Well, and how much they can actually receive from it too. You know, like one of the things I love about our beautiful planet is the oceans. And so whenever I can, I'm in water. It doesn't even need to be the ocean. It's just water. It can be a swimming pool. It can be a bathtub. I'm like, get me in the water, you know, but that's for me, I just find myself so at peace with that. So how much more could you begin to receive if you began to acknowledge your body, like truly begin to be in question with it, with everything that regards it. And if we look at that, because you're like, holy shit, like question with everything that regards it. Yeah. How many structures do you have in place to not question, to not be in question? Because you as a kid, and you weren't even running around as a little kid, you weren't asking questions, but you were in question and being the question with your body. Like you'll see a kid eat, they'll have as many mouthfuls as they want, and then they'll stop and walk away. Yeah. Most people don't do that. It's like, I've got my meal in front of me. I have to finish my meal. I have to eat my meal. Whose structure is that? And that's where, if you ask that question, begin to ask it when you get the sense of that stuckness, or you get a sense of not being present. Because that's the other thing with structure, is that we use our structures as an autopilot system. As long as you're in structure, you don't have to be present because the structure's in place already. No choice required. You've already chosen. All the points of view are in place. It's predictable. You know where it's going. You know what it is. So in coming out of it, also getting more present in your life. You know, like one of the tools that's really helpful for this also is 10-second increments of choice. Yeah. Practicing that, being like, okay, I got 10 seconds to live the rest of my life. What do I choose? And you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to choose to go for a walk. Okay, that 10 seconds is over, and you choose it. You continuously choosing, which is you being present, rather than I'm just going to go for a walk and switch off and think about my money problems.
Yeah.
You
Isn't
know?
that the purpose of a walk?
Yeah, hello, like, duh, isn't that why I'm going for a walk, to distract myself?
Wow. Well, let me just say, one of the things I've learned a lot, mm, like during your body classes, is the relaxation that bodies show us,
Yeah,
which is something like I'm so grateful for that, for just allowing being present with our bodies and the way they show us energies and the energies we could get access to. And yeah, that has been one of the most amazing contributions also for me. So thank you for that. And then you know that you have that. It's like you be that and you can have it
yeah,
all the time.
yeah, right, that. But what would that be like, to walk through the world knowing that you, from that space of peace, that space of softness, that space of kindness with yourself and kindness with your body, that kind of melty energy, like, what would it be like to live from that? And for most of us, you know, we've been taught that in order to create, we need to have some pressure to push against. So there's got to be stress, there's got to be fight, there's got to be struggle, there's got to be, you know, worry about the future in order to create. Because if I don't have that there, I'm not going to create. But my question with that is, whose structure is that? What if you being you, and you actually being that softness, being that space, being that peace in your body and with your body, allowed you to receive, like actually receive? And I know for me, when I'm being more of that, like that softness that is me, money just, I'm like, where did that come from? You know, but then when I go into, no, I need to, you know, make this happen and blah, 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 it's like, and there goes your money flows. But it's the same with any area of our lives. So what else is possible beyond all of this that we've never considered?
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you both. And, you know, I just, it's such a, I know we've heard this forever with access basically begins with question. And it's about teaching people and educating people to go into question, to empower them to know what they know. I'm just going to say it again, question, like, because it is, what I'm realizing is, and like I said it in the beginning with this thing of, we've talked about forever, your point of view creates your reality. It really does. So anywhere you're out of question and have a point of view, it's like, you know, get present with it, but then also go to question. What else is possible that I've never considered with this? And is this truly my point of view? Whose structure is this? And another great question, if I was truly having my point of view with this, what would that be?
So we wait for you in Italy.
Okay, I'll be there, I promise.
Yeah, you cannot miss that.
No, I won't. I promise. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So,
So in the comments, you can also find all the information around this body class. And for any one of you who is interested, you can also connect with us. And we are very happy to give you all the information also for logistics and to welcome you in Italy as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
And let's then talk about bodies and food in Italy. Yeah. I wonder what will be changed.
Yeah, but if you look at other places of the world, they're like, you know, you don't drink at lunch. You shouldn't drink that much. You shouldn't eat pasta all the time. And
Yeah.
it's like the Italians do it, and they don't have the same point of view about it, so it doesn't create what it creates for other people. I love going there. Italians to more of a degree have a lot more joy with their body than a lot of other places in the world. You know, they're just like, all right, let's eat, let's drink, let's party, let's, you know, it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, amazing. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you, beautiful people.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye bye.
In Italy.